Is a person who engages in premarital sex married, whether with one person or multiple partners, since they had the one flesh relation? A sexual encounter by itself does not constitute marriage. If a person engages in sex before marriage, the person commits the sin of fornication, while a married person who cheats on their spouse commits adultery. Neither fornication nor adultery are equal to marriage. In fact, they are sins because they are acts conducted outside of marriage. The biblical definition for marriage is this: "For this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." Marriage relationship involves a forsaking of the parent relationships, the entering into marriage covenant, and sexual union. If sexual union takes place without the first two components, then the relationship is not a marriage. So that's three things. A man must leave his father and his mother. The Hebrew word translated leave literally means to forsake or to abandon, which says a man must transfer his personal allegiance from his parents to his bride. Before a man takes a wife, his strongest human commitment is to his parents. God tells us to honor mother and father. So an unmarried man's relationship with his parents takes precedence over every other relationship, earthly relationship. Once a man marries, his allegiance to his parents must become secondary to his allegiance to his wife. The process of leaving one's parents and cleaving to one another typically includes a lifestyle change, an authority change, and a heart commitment, recognizing that this relationship takes priority over all other relationships. When we engage in casual sex, there is no intention to transfer allegiance. Even if some degree of commitment is expressed, it's unlikely that the relationship will take precedence over parents or friends. Second, the man will be joined to his wife. The Hebrew word for joined means to cleave, to remain steadfast. It describes a relationship that is inseparable. What God has joined together, let no man separate. Just as the physical relationship between a parent and a child can never cease, similarly, a marriage relationship will never cease until death. A true marriage requires this lifelong commitment, and this commitment is expressed through a marriage covenant ceremony. While the ceremony itself can vary, the purpose is always the same. It gives the couple an opportunity to make that lifelong pledge. Couples who enter into a marriage covenant communicate their commitment by exchanging rings, vows publicly, signing legal documents, changing their names, calling each other husband and wife. The purpose of these things is to clearly communicate that that man and that woman acknowledge their respective participation in the covenant. Casual sexual relationships, even long-term relationships, are not equal to marriage. They lack the necessary formality of a personal pledge and lifelong commitment. They lack the signs and symbols of a covenant, of a marriage. And more importantly, the couple themselves lack the perspective of being married. If someone asked them to describe their relationship, they'd say something like, "We're dating, we're just friends." Third and final, a true marriage requires the couple to become one flesh. There's an expectation to consummate the marriage. Though all sexual encounters establish that one flesh union, not every one flesh union is equal to that which is made within marriage, since the relationship lacks the other biblical components. Our bodies signify the obvious. The two will become one flesh. Sexuality is a deeply spiritual and soteriological reality. Your body is a temple for the Holy Spirit within you. God has created ordinances and means of grace for His church, for restoration, for healing. We're not dirty and sinful for our sexual desires, and God fights for us as creatures made in His image with those sexual desires, while Satan fights against us as image bearers of God with sexual desires. We have a high priest who helps us, even as we wrestle with sin, so that we might hold fast to our confession, who guides us along the way in wisdom and power, My name is Christ Defender. I defend the Christian faith. I answer questions and criticisms concerning Christianity. If you like what I do and you would like to support me, hit the Patreon link in the description below. If you're not too sure yet, but you're intrigued, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, check me out. Okay, bye!